Marhaba, this is the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. I'm James. Here are the news highlight for this week. NUG, CRPH and Ambassador Ujo Moton participate in Spring Revolution political dialogue in Buffalo, New York. An airstrike by the military junta on the monastery in Lindalu village, Sakai Township, killed around 30 internally displaced civilians who were sought refuge. A crew of 141 organizations urged action against UNHCR India for alleged data sharing of Myanmar refugees with Indian government and other interesting news. These are the weekly news details. A two-day political dialogue on Myanmar's Spring Revolution took place in Buffalo, New York on July 5 to 6. Representatives from the committee representing Pirang Solodo CRPH, the National Unity Government NUG and the National Unity Consultative Council NUCC attended the event in person, along with leaders of women's organizations and elected members of parliament from 2020 general election. The dialogue included virtual participation via Zoom from a wide range of stakeholders, leaders from ethnic revolutionary organizations EROs, Myanmar's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Ujo Moton, secretaries from the People's Liberation Army PLA and the New Society Party, Revolutionary and Defense Force leaders, LPDF, PDF, former political prisoners, veterans of All Burma Students Democratic Front, ABSDF, and Spring Revolution leaders based in the US, Canada, South Korea, Japan, Australia, Germany, and Thailand, including exiled members of the National League for Democracy NLD. The discussions were described as open, inclusive, and constructive. Participants reportedly reached a common understanding and consensus on several key issues, making a dialogue a successful and productive one. An airstrike by the military junta on a monastery in Lindalu village, Sakai Township, killed approximately 30 internally displaced civilians who had sought refuge there. According to Une Pola, spokesperson for LNUG Union Prime Minister Office, the attack, which involved two bombings by the fighter jets between midnight and 1 a.m. on 11 of July, targeted the monastery, sheltering villagers including children and elderly, and the confirmed toll stands at around 30. Local sources confirmed the incident and casualties, and Une Pola stated on social media that the death toll is expected to rise due to a large number of injured. His statement was issued in both Myanmar and English. Most of the victims were originally from Georgia village, while efforts are being made to treat the injured. There is an urgent need for medical supplies, doctors, and nurses to provide adequate care, sources said. This incident follows a similar attack on 12 May and Otengwe village, Debayan Township, Sakai region, where the military used cluster bombs in school, killing nearly 30 students and teachers and injuring around 100. A crew of 141 organizations from home and abroad wrote an open letter to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, in Switzerland, calling for urgent action against UNHCR India on 4 of July. The open letter asserts that UNHCR India registered over 10,000 Myanmar nationals as refugees following the February 1, 2021 coup. These refugees, including political activists, human rights defenders, and individuals with special needs targeted by the military junta, sought protection. The letter also alleges that confidential data was shared with the Indian government without adequate safeguards, leading to a reported arrest of over 261 Myanmar nationals under India's Foreigners Act. Among them, 6 women gave birth in detention and 2 men reportedly died in custody. Furthermore, the letter alleges that around 134 individuals were deported back to Myanmar, where they were handed over to the military junta. Of these, 34, including women and children, remain in junta custody. It also reports that approximately 40 Rohingya refugees were forcibly arrested from their homes and sent back to Myanmar. The letter, signed by 141 organizations, invokes the High Commissioner to protect Myanmar refugees, stating that UNHCR is their last hope. 5 unnamed civil society groups, fearing retaliation, also endorsed the appeal. A new public hospital opened on 8 of July in Manyu, 105 miles from Musa Township in northern Shan State. The hospital, under the administration of the Three Brotherhood Alliance, was paid through the joint affairs of its members, the Arakan Army, ULAAA, the Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army, MNTJP, MMDAA, and the Ao National Liberation Army, PSLF, TNLA. Renovations began in mid-May were completed in 3 months. The hospital provides Manyu residents who previously relied on the rural clinics and distant hospital in Musa and Nankam with significantly improved access to essential health care. The 62-bed facility provides 34-hour services including blood testing, X-ray, ultrasounds, and general medical treatment with future service expansion planned. The opening ceremony was attended by representatives from Three Brotherhood Alliance Administrative Committee, local banks, community elders, culture groups, and local residents. The Three Brotherhood Alliance has controlled 105 mines since 14 of December 2023, and residents believe the new hospital is a crucial step in addressing the region's healthcare needs. The Committee for Coordinated Actions Against the Illegal Sham Election, formed by the National Unity Consultative Council NUCC and the National Unity Government NUG, urges all revolutionary forces to reject the military junta's planned sham election and stage peace initiatives. The committee asserts that the 2020 general election outcome remains the sole legitimate mandate in Myanmar, and any election excluding elected representatives and the people's will is an unlawful power grab. The committee urged all revolutionary and pro-democracy forces to reject the junta's sham election and peace talks, designed only to legitimize military dictatorship. In the appeal, the committee stressed that the military affairs are a plan of maintaining authoritarian rule, called for unified opposition, refusing participation or support, and upholding a firm stance against them. These are the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. We will present more interesting local news to you. Thanks for joining our news.